Open your banking app with me for a second. The screen loads, and there it is, $143 left. 3 days until payday. Underneath, a little army of bills is lining up. Rent, car payment, credit card minimum, that hospital copay you've been pretending doesn't exist, a bunch of subscriptions you swear you were going to cancel. Your thumb hovers over pay credit card, you see the new balance, and you back out. Now you're doing that quiet panic math in your head. If I pay this, can I still buy groceries? If my car makes that noise again, I'm screwed. Why am I working this hard to feel this broke? So you start saying no to friends, not because you're busy, but because you're terrified your card gets declined in front of them. You go to bed tired from work, and somehow more tired from thinking about money. Now I want you to imagine the same exact day. Oh, but with one difference. You open your investing app and see $100,000 sitting there. Your job is the same. Your bills are the same. Your life is not magically fixed, but notice what changes in your body. If the car breaks, it's annoying, not life-threatening. If your boss turns weird tomorrow, you're stressed. But you're not trapped. You're no longer one bad week away from disaster. That's what this video is really about. That first money milestone where your account stops feeling like a ticking time bomb, and starts feeling like backup. If money has ever made you feel stuck, ashamed, or one bill away from a meltdown, this video is for you. Welcome to Mie Invests channel, where smart money moves start here. Subscribe for clear financial strategies. Here's the blunt truth most people never hear. Your first $100,000 is not just a number. It's a switch. It's the moment your brain stops running on survival mode. How do I make it to Friday? And finally upgrades to builder mode. How do I make my money work so I don't have to grind like this forever? Because once you're around that 100K mark, something weird happens. In good years, your investments can grow by $5, $8, $10,000 without you doing a single extra shift. That's not just numbers on a chart. That's a month of rent. That's your car payment for the year. That's groceries for months, coming from money you already saved. That's the first time you look at your account and think, wait, my money just did a month of work for me. Now, let me kill a couple of myths right away. You do not need a giant tech salary to get there. You do not need to be single, child-free, living in the middle of nowhere with zero debt. Is it easier with more income? But most people aren't stuck because they're underpaid freaks of nature. They're stuck because nobody taught them how to build a simple system and fix the big rocks that quietly eat their money. Housing, car, taxes, lifestyle creep. Then that's where this channel comes in. My name is Mie. Mie Invests is for regular Americans whose backs hurt from work and whose brains are tired from worrying about bills, but who refuse to live paycheck to paycheck forever. No flexing, no just quit your job and manifest nonsense. Just math, psychology, and small, repeatable moves that actually get you to that first $100,000. Let me show you what life usually looks like before that first 100K. There are a few flavors of broke. See if you recognize yourself in any of these. First, there's chaotic broke. No tracking, no plan, just vibes and hope. You pay bills when you remember, swipe the card, and deal with the damage later. You forget a credit card payment bag? Boom! $39 late. You're a day late on rent? Late fee. You overdraft your account? Another fee. It's like your bank is running a subscription called Punish Me Monthly. And you're the main character. Then we've got organized broke. You've got a budget app, maybe a spreadsheet. You know roughly what's coming in, what's going out. You might even feel a tiny bit proud on payday. But by the end of the month, you're still hovering near zero. Every unexpected expense wipes you out. You're not drowning, but you're always just one gulp of water away. And finally, high income broke. On paper, you should be winning. Maybe you make 80, 90, even 100K a year, but the luxury apartment, the car lease, Uber Eats, gym, streaming, happy hours, all of it eats your paycheck before it ever meets an investment account. You look successful. Nice car, nice neighborhood, nice Instagrams. But if you lost your job tomorrow, you'd still be in panic mode within a month. Here's the painful truth. You can be smart, educated, hardworking, even well paid. and still broke. Because in all three versions, you're not actually moving toward $100,000. You're just managing to feel less underwater each month. You're living the image of someone who's okay with money, not the reality of someone who owns assets. Right now, for a lot of people, I want 100K lives in the same folder as I should drink more water and I'll start Monday. It's a wish, not a plan. Let's change that. I want you to think of $100,000 not as this magical, lucky number, but as a date on your calendar that depends on one thing. If I do X every month, I hit 100K around year Y. No manifesting, just math. Let's talk 3 paths. Path 1, Taijian, aggressive core. About 5-6 years. You're putting roughly $1,500 to $1,700 a month into a broad index fund, earning something like 8 to 10% on average over time. This is for you if your income is decent. You're willing to slash housing slash car costs. You're open to a serious side income just for investing. Hard? Yup. Impossible? No. Hack 2. About 7 to 9 year top here, you're investing about $1,000 a month. Same kind of return. This is where a lot of people land once they clean up debt, get housing under control, stop bleeding cash on lifestyle upgrades. Path 3. Slow but inevitable haul. You're starting with around $500 a month. It takes longer. But if you stick with it, 100K becomes a when, not an if. Here's the mini plot twist. For that first $100,000, about 80 and 90% of it is your job, your discipline, your choices. On the next $100,000, a much bigger chunk, no, maybe 30-50% in good Strati's car, can come from growth alone. In a strong year, 100K growing at 10% is $10,000. That's almost a year of car payments. That's a few months of rent, all from money you already put to work, quietly compounding in the background. That's the math side of your money working harder than you do. So here's what I want to know. Which path are you actually on right now? Aggressive, realistic, or slow but inevitable? And if you had to put a number on it, what year do you want 100K to show up on your calendar? Drop it in the comments. Path 2, aiming for 100K by 2032. Or path 3, but trying to move toward path 2. Writing it down publicly is a small way of telling your brain, this isn't a wish anymore. This is the plan. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your head before and after that first 100K. Your brain has 2 main money modes. The first is what I call survival brain. Survival brain only cares about this week, this bill, this overdue notice, this minimum payment due. When your bank balance lives in that $0 to $2,000 range, crumbling under the weight of an unexpected expense is a harsh reality. Every decision feels like a mini life or death gamble. If I move out of this job and the new one doesn't work, I'm screwed. If I go to the doctor and that bill is big, my whole month is wrecked. If my car dies, game over. So you say no to opportunities not because they're bad, but because your survival brain is screaming, we cannot afford to be wrong. Then there's builder brain. Builder brain thinks in years, decades, and net worth, not just paychecks. It asks different questions. What does my life look like 5 years from now if I stay here? How fast does my net worth grow if I make this move? Is this expense helping me build? Or just helping me feel better for 5 minutes? Here's the thing. Builder brain can't talk when you're constantly one emergency from disaster. It gets drowned out by panic. Round that first $100,000, something shifts. It's not magic, but it's real. Suddenly, saying no to a friend's trip or yes to a job change doesn't feel like it could blow up your entire life. You're still careful, but you're not terrified. You book that dentist appointment because your tooth hurts, not because you finally worked up the courage to risk the bill. You take the interview at a better company even if there's a 90-day probation, because you know a bad month won't erase you. And then one day, you open your investing app and realize your portfolio made $1,000 this year, while you were just living your life. No overtime. No side hustle that broke your body. That's the day your survival brain quietly goes, I'm not fighting alone anymore. Let's be clear about something. Hitting $100,000 is not the moment a choir of angels descends and your life turns into a montage with a private jet. Your job might still be stressful. Your kids will spill juice on the couch. Your car can still break, but 100K does quietly change 3 very real things. First, it changes your power at work. You're no longer negotiating from, please don't fire me, I'll do anything. You can walk into a review and say, here's the value I bring, here's what I'm asking for, without that sick feeling of, if they say no or get mad, I can't survive. It doesn't make you cocky. It makes you calm. Second, it changes the tone of your relationships. Money talks go from, why did you spend DHAT? We're screwed now. Okay, here's what came up, and here's how we adjust. You're not perfect, but you're not fighting for air every time an unexpected bill shows up. $100K doesn't make you a better partner or parent, but it takes the volume down on the panic in the room. Third, it changes your options in life. Where you live, how much you work, what you say yes or no to. Picture this. You're 30, you've got 2 kids. Before 100K, you say yes to every overtime shift because the story in your head is, if I don't, we might not make it. You miss games, dinners, bedtimes, and you still lie awake wondering if it's enough. After 100K, your boss offers another weekend shift. You look at your kid's soccer schedule instead, you say, no, I'm good this time, and you actually sleep fine that night. Because for once, your money is backing up your choice. That's what 100K really buys you. Not a Ferrari, but a calmer voice when you talk about money. If you want to get to that day sooner, save this video so you can sit down tonight and map out your own path to $100,000. Now, before we talk about the exact formula, we need to talk about how people accidentally break their first 100K, because getting there is hard, but staying there and letting it grow? That's where a lot of people fumble the bag. Mistake number 1 is victory lap gone wild. You see 100K on the screen and your brain goes, I did it, game over. Next thing you know, there's a new $40,000 car in the driveway, a $5,000 vacation on the calendar, new furniture, new gadget. Your net worth quietly slides back down to 55K, and your monthly payments are now higher than before. You celebrated your progress by rebuilding the cave. Mistake number 2 is, I'm a genius now. You saved and invested consistently for years, then suddenly you're trying to be a hedge fund, chasing hot stock, meme coins, options, leverage. You forget the boring system that actually got you to 100K and trade it for chaos dressed up as opportunity. Mistake number 3 is quiet lifestyle creep. No big splurge, just 20 little upgrades. Slightly bigger place, slightly nicer car, slightly more eating out, slightly pricier city. Nothing feels crazy, but all the extra cash that used to go into investments now goes to maintaining the new normal. Net worth flatlines. And then there's shame spiral. Life happens. Your mom gets sick, you lose a job, the car dies, you pull 15K from savings or investments to deal with it, and immediately think, I ruined it, I'm back to square one, why even bother? Here's the truth. The dangerous part usually isn't one giant stupid decision, it's 20 little, I deserve this moments that quietly kill your momentum. That's not failure. That's literally why you built the 100K in the first place. And using your money for a real emergency? The win is, you can rebuild, wool, faster this time, wall, if you keep the system. Alright, let's turn all of this into something you can actually do. I call it the 100K stack formula. See, target, automate, cut and create, keep compounding. S equals, see your real numbers. Step 1 is ugly but necessary. Face the math. Figure out what you own, POFO, cash, investments, cars that are actually paid off, what you owe, your true fixed bills, and how fast money is burning each month. Most people walking around saying, I probably have like 10K saved. Sit down, do the math, and realize that after that, they're sitting on $1 to $2K of actual net worth. It stings. But now you finally know where you are on the map. T, Eunice, target and timeline. Next, give your 100K a deadline, not just a dream. I want 100K in 8 years, might mean roughly $901,000 a month invested, assuming growth. Then break it into mini milestones. 5K to 10K to 25K to 50K to 100K. You go from, I wish, to, I'm on level 2, aiming for level 3. You can even decide, when I hit 25K, I'll celebrate with X. Trail. Something small that doesn't blow up the flange. A, airflow. Automate your cash flow. Design a money pipeline so decisions are made before your tempted paycheck hits automatically. X% to your 401k, X% to a Roth/traditional IRA or brokerage. The rest is clearly split for bills plus fun. If it's not automated, it's optional. If it's optional, it probably won't happen. 10% to 401k, 10% to IRA, 5% to an opportunity or freedom fund, then whatever's left is what you're actually allowed to live on. Cut big rocks, create extra streams. Now we attack the heavy hitters on one side, cut big rocks. Housing, car, eating out, subscriptions. Aim for housing at or under 30% of your take-home if you can. On the other side, create extra streams. One side income where 100% goes to investing dad. Freelance, weekend work, online gigs. Forget obsessing over lattes while paying $2,000 for an apartment you barely afford. Drop housing from $2,000 to $1,300. Add a $500 side hustle. That's $300 month that can go straight toward your 100K path. Pay equals, keep compounding, and protect the floor. Finally, protect the machine. 3 rules. Investing rule. Use low-cost index funds. Reinvest dividends. Keep trading to a minimum. Floor rule. Choose a do not cross level hails, maybe 80K or 100K. Only dip below it for a real emergency. Lifestyle rule. Every time your income rises, send at least 50% of that raise to investing. Not lifestyle. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to not break the system. If you get a 10K raise, 5K goes to your future. 5K is allowed to make life nicer. That's how you grow your net worth and still feel the progress in your day-to-day life. So let's zoom out for a second. On the math side, your first $100,000 is not a miracle. It's the result of a boring, repeatable process. Stack. You. See your real numbers and set a target and timeline. Automate your cash flow. Cut big rocks and create extra streams. And keep compounding without blowing up the system. Do that long enough, and 100K stops being a fantasy and becomes a date on your calendar. On the psychology side, 100K is the moment your brain shifts. You're not just reacting to emergencies in survival mode anymore. You're thinking like a builder in years, decades, net worth, not just in, can I make it to Friday? And on the life side, no, 100K doesn't make you rich. It doesn't turn you into an influencer, but it does make you less scared, less ashamed, and a lot more calm when life throws a bill at your face. So here's the choice. You can keep living in that mode where you're always one bill away from panic, or you can decide that today is the day, and you draw a line in the sand and say, my first $100,000 is non-negotiable. I don't know exactly how long it'll take, but I'm in. If you want someone to walk that path with you, well, from 5K to 10K to 25K to 50K and beyond light, hit subscribe. That's what this channel, Mie Invests, is here for. In the next video, I'm going to break down exactly how to choose your first investments if you're starting from almost zero. No jargon, no hype. But before you click away, do this. Grab a note and write down 3 numbers. Your current net worth. Your 100K target. The year you want to hit it. That's your first real step toward making this more than just a nice video.